G'day guys and welcome to ReDriven. Now in life there are certain things that just work really well together. For example, my eyes and Margot Robbie. Fantastic combination. And then there are things that just do not work together, like chocolate covered oysters. And then there are things that shouldn't work together, but they do, they work really well, like popcorn and Maltesers. Or in the case of the SQ5, proper sports car performance, a family-friendly SUV, and a cool sophisticated image. But now that these second generation SQ5s are a few years old and have a few thousand Ks under their belt, what are they like? What goes wrong with them? Are they reliable? What do they like to live with every day? And most importantly, should you buy one? Let's find out. Guys, before we get deep into the SQ5, can you please do us a favor and hit those like, subscribe, and bell icon buttons? And hey, why not go and follow us on all the socials as well? Now in this video, we will be focusing on the Australian derivatives of the second generation 2017 to 2020 Audi SQ5. But look, if you're not from Australia, don't freak out because everything we're going over should relate to SQ5s from all over the world. Now, if you are in the market for an Audi SQ5 because you desire those cool European performance SUV vibes, it's important to know that these SQ5s, they're about as German as tequila and burritos because these are not German, they're not even European, these are made in Mexico. And now look, that isn't necessarily a bad thing because, you know, how yummy are burritos and tequila makes for a really fun night. But yeah, just don't be fooled by the whole precise German engineered thing. We've received these second gen SQ5s in 3 trims. This standard one and a limited black edition with the turbocharged V6 power plant, and recently a mild hybrid diesel SQ5. And now look, while we can't go into every graphic technical detail of the SQ5 in this video for obvious reasons, we have done that and we've put it in our handy ReDriven cheat sheets. Our cheat sheets are invaluable as they provide a full breakdown of the car's model range, its common problems, what you need to look out for before you hand over your hard-earned cash, how much of that cash you should be handing over, and so much more. Check it out in the link below. Okay, so how does it look? Obviously, it looks very cool and sophisticated, but personally, I'm a bit meh. Like, I just think it looks a bit vanilla. What do you think? Do you like the look of these? Let us know in the comments section below. As far as actual quality goes, look, I know, I mentioned the whole not being German thing, but with the panel gaps, the quality of the paint, the quality of everything, yeah, it does feel very German precision. I do love the look of these 21-inch wheels. They are beautiful. But one thing that does really shit me, fake exhausts. That's just lazy design. The actual exhaust is up under here. Come on Audi, you can do better than that. So how's the interior? First up, typical Audi, beautiful design. This thing looks sensational and the ergonomics are spot on. Everything's really easy to get to and touch. Yeah, Audi, awesome design work, guys. Actually, especially at night time, this thing is exquisite. Okay, as far as quality goes, this car is from 2018 and it's the owner's daily driver, so it does get a bit of a workout. And so far, so good. Like the leather up here, it's getting a little bit glossy. On this center console, again, a little bit glossy, but the Napa leather seats, excellent. Some of the black piano plastics, like all black piano plastics, are starting to scratch. Don't know why manufacturers keep doing this. Like, they know this stuff scratches. Also, I love this texture here on the center console. It looks like someone's grabbed like an old paintbrush with some slightly drying paint and has just slapped paint on. But I dig it. I think it looks really, really cool. Some of the touch points are quite harsh, like this door handle here. You'd think that'd be like a soft touch texture, but it's not. It's kind of just hard plastic. But besides that, so far so good. 2 negatives, but because these buttons down here are almost like a little bit porous in texture, so they feel nice, they collect the oils from your fingers and they just get a bit shiny and look a bit old pretty quickly. And secondly, this car's only a couple of years old and I don't think windows should sound that horrific. Upwards is okay, downwards, not good. Okay, in the back, bloody lovely. The leather feels fantastic. These seats are really comfy. I've got loads of foot room, loads of knee room, loads of shoulder room, heaps of headroom. It's glassy too, like there's a nice ambience in the back because, there's windows. This is great, really nice back here. How's the tech? Brilliant. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all the phone connectivity you'd ever want, this gorgeous virtual cockpit, park assist, surround view parking camera, the list just goes on and on. And unlike its Volkswagen Tiguan cousin that we reviewed a few weeks back, all of the tech in this actually works. Honestly, to tell you about all of the tech that is fitted in this car would just take way too long. Oh, also, the 10-speaker sound system sounds fantastic. Is it practical? Well, the boot is actually a little bit smaller than a BMW X3, but it's still plenty spacious and comfy back here. And the seats fold flat. Okay, practicality in the back seat, excellent. Really good sized door bins, and there's like a channel to get the water bottle or whatever drink you've got in and out, unlike some other cars where you've got to dislocate your arm to actually get things in and out. If you go fishing, there's some nets for your fish. Got my own air vents here with temperature control, which is great, and also a 12-volt power outlet. And in the armrest, you've got cup holders with this like trapdoor cup holder that reveals itself. Lovely, it's great. And as far as practicality up front goes, you've got these vanity mirrors with a little light, which is great. Excellent sized door bins. A huge cubby hole here, which is so large you can even slide your fist in. That's what she said. Massive cubby hole here under the armrest. It has an excellent sized glove box with another little storage bay up here. And 3 spots for your phone, all of which are completely inefficient. Let me show you. First spot is up here, but the problem is if you accelerate, corner, or actually move the car at all, it just slides all over the place, eventually on the floor under your feet. The next part is here where it kind of goes sideways, but then the problem is if you go around a corner, the phone falls out and slides down the side of the seat, taking about 40 minutes to go fishing it out of the side of the seat. And finally, there's like an allocated spot here for your phone, but once it's in, if you've got man hands like me, you can't actually get your fingers in, that's what she said, to get the phone out, and it takes minutes to get it out. Bloody hell. Won't be a sec, hang on. Nope. Nope. Got it. That's stupid. So how's the SQ5 from a mechanical and reliability point of view? Well, I'm not a mechanic, but Jim is.
There aren't many problems unique to the Audi SQ5, but it's important to remember that it's closely related to the ordinary Q5, which have plenty of problems. What goes wrong with them? Here's a piston out of a Q5. This vehicle was part of an ongoing test to see why it was using so much oil. During the test, the engine catastrophically failed. And besides engines failing, what else goes wrong? Cooling system problems, turbo and intercooler problems, EGR cooler problems, electrical and software gremlins, DSG transmission problems, and the list goes on. And all of these problems occur in cars that have been well maintained. Specifically to the SQ5, it's important to remember that it is the performance version. There's more to go wrong, and it's probably been driven much harder.
Is it safe? Yes, immensely safe. The SQ5 is loaded with safety tech. Autonomous emergency braking, blind spot sensors, rear cross traffic alert, side door exit warnings, lane keep assist, and a 5-star ANCAP safety rating will keep you and your loved ones all cozy and safe. So what's the SQ5 like to drive? Well, let's start with the negatives first. This whole front 3/4 view here with the mirror and the A-pillar and all this, it's pretty bulky, so there's a bit of a blind spot. If someone's walking across in front of you, hypothetically, you might hypothetically nearly hit them, hypothetically. The positive is that because the mirrors are so large, you've got a great vision of what's in your history. I should mention that blind spot is actually for both sides because I just nearly hit a postman because I couldn't see him past the A-pillar and the mirror on the other side. Another negative is the auto stop start in this car. A lot of cars, when they do their auto stop start, when they restart, it's like being woken up out of a beautiful, subtle dream. In this car, it's almost like someone's thrown a bucket of cold water on its face. It's like, what? Oh, we're starting? Oh my God, okay, let's go. Another negative, and it is in this particular car, there's a rattle coming from the passenger side rear 3/4. It almost sounds like a strut is on its way out, which can't be the case because this is a pretty new car. But yeah, I don't know if you can pick it up in the mic, but there's a rattle there. There's nothing in the boot. We've got everything clear out of here, and yeah, there's something clunky going on. And finally, the last negative, and look, I'm sure you get used to this. If you're driving around in dynamic mode, the throttle pedal is unbelievably sensitive. Like it just yeah, it's kind of hard to get used to. I'm sure you would get used to it, but yeah, it's a little bit hyperactive. Now positives, and the big one is the immense amount of power and torque. Bloody hell. Yeah. SUVs shouldn't go that quickly. That's properly quick. That is super impressive. Big compliment to the gearbox. This is no longer a dual clutch. It is a old school automatic, like a torque converter auto, and it's so smooth. The old gearbox used to be a bit, you know, jumpy and honestly pretty horrible around town, but this is smooth. It's still, the shifts are still nice and fast and dynamic, but yeah, love the gearbox. Now back to those drive modes. There are 6 drive modes. There is one individual which you can customize and an off-road drive mode. We would suggest keeping away from comfort because that turns the SQ5 into more of a bowl of mashed potatoes. It's all soft and a bit gross. Dynamic is the pick. It is so much fun. It makes everything nice and engaging, yet it's still pretty compliant even over these rubbish roads. But like this thing, it's so good. The other good thing about dynamic is the sound. Bloody hell, this is fast. This is a fast car. Yeah. It's good. Good thing. Really good thing. As far as road and wind noise and overall NVH levels in here, it's great. Wind noise isn't too bad, road noise isn't too bad. Exhaust can get a little bit drony, and except for that bloody rattle thing in the back, everything else in here feels as tight as a drum. Look, overall, it's typical Audi. It feels absolutely planted and glued to the road. It feels like it's at one with the road. The steering's okay, a little vague, not a whole lot of communication. Again, kind of typical Audi, but this is an SUV and it performs like that. It's so impressive. Okay, high kilometre, hardly option SQ5s with a massive question mark over their history are going to be asking around about 70 grand. And at the other end of the spectrum, really recent, perfect condition, low kilometre SQ5s, they're still asking around about 110 to 115 grand. But be warned, because depreciation will hit these things hard. For example, there are plenty of first-gen SQ5s from 2014 and 2015 for sale for as low as 28 grand, with loads of them hovering in the low to mid-30s, meaning they've lost around $70,000 in value in just 6 years. So to put that into perspective, let's say you go and buy a 2019 SQ5 for say $105,000 and you sell it in 5 years' time, you're going to get about 35 grand. That equates to losing $38 every single day to depreciation. And that doesn't even include the consumables, cost of fuel, tyres, stuff like that. Is it worth it? If you are in the market for an SQ5, first things first, make sure it has a faultless and precise service history. They are critical on these things. Audi claim a fuel consumption figure of 8.7 litres per 100 Ks, but I tell you what, their engineers must be a boring lot because we're not seeing figures anywhere near 8.7. Try more like 11. Audi offer, let's be honest, a pretty short 3-year unlimited kilometre warranty, and our tip is find one of these things with some factory support left on it. But in saying that, the service intervals are pretty generous at either every 12 months or 15,000 Ks. Now, if the SQ5 you're looking at is out of warranty, it's really important to know that parts and labour costs are enormously expensive. And also, make sure you take it to an experienced independent mechanic because these things are so complex, you don't want some apprentice rattling around under the bonnet. So, should you buy one? Look, this is a tough one. Obviously, it does that whole prestigious SUV, classy European thing really well. It's properly quick, it's properly entertaining, it's practical, and it has more toys than a spoiled only child. But the question marks hanging over their mechanical longevity and reliability, mixed with the falling off a cliff levels of depreciation, really kill our enthusiasm for these things. Look, if you're in the financial position to make sense of the crazy levels of depreciation and you're emotionally and mentally ready for the impending doom of the mechanical gremlins that might hit these, sure, yes, go buy one because they are beautiful. But if buying one of these is going to put you in heaps of debt or any kind of financial stress, and you're buying one because you think that owning a classy European car is going to make your life better or fulfill you in some way, then no, you should not buy one of these. Look, we get it. There is so much to love about the SQ5, but as these get older and the novelty wears off, look, the negatives really start to outweigh the positives. And look, the numbers, they just don't add up. Unless the numbers in your bank account end with many, many zeros, in which case you probably don't care what we think anyway. Guys, thank you so much for watching. What do you think of the SQ5? Did we miss anything? Let us know in the comment section below. And while you're at it, remember to hit those like, subscribe, and bell icon buttons. And hey, why not go and follow us on all the socials as well? See you next time.